Hello everybody and welcome back to the Blues Knot channel. Today I am back with another match preview, and for the second week in a row the Quakes are going to be playing a game at home, and also for the second week in a row the Quakes are going to be playing against a Canadian team. Now this time we are going to be playing against the Vancouver Whitecaps, and something tells me this is probably one of the best opportunity to finally snap out of this long and miserable winless run that we had at home. Keep in mind, we have only won one home game this season, and that came in the first game of the season, and it's getting to a point where it is a pretty big possibility that if we don't win this game, and that if we don't win the midweek game against FC Dallas, then we would go almost a half of calendar year without actually winning a home game, and that is absolutely ridiculous. But the reason why I think that there is a good opportunity we can potentially win this home game against the Whitecaps is that we have definitely done much better against the Whitecaps recently. I know back in the early 2010s and back in the year when we actually looked very decent, the Whitecaps always tends to be kind of like a bogey team for us. We always tend to lose against them, but recently we have done much better against them. Granted, we did drew against them a lot of time, but we had also got a couple of wins against them, both home and away. And the other thing I think about this game, and this is something that I actually just realized in the last match, but the Quakes have actually never lost to a Canadian team at home, and it looked like for sure that in that TFC game, that was probably the first ever Canadian opponent that goes to Avaya Stadium to get all 3 points. And it looked like it was going to happen when we were down 1-0 in this game, but thankfully Wando rescued us. And just to remind you, if you have already been kind of reminded about, he is now at 141 career goals in MLS. He's only 5 away from breaking the record. I know last week and in my last match vlog I said that he was 4 away from breaking the MLS record. That's actually wrong. He's only 5 away, but he's 4 away from tying Landon Donovan in terms of his record. But either way, like I said, I think there is a good chance that we can potentially beat the Whitecaps, and despite the fact that the Whitecaps are fighting for playoffs and they're kind of like treating every single game for the end of the season like a cup final, I have a good chance that we're going to be once again kind of playing spoiler. I mean, I've kind of said it in the last match preview and in the last match vlog. From now on, the Quakes are just going to be acting as spoilers against teams that we're going to face, because most of the team that we're going to be facing is either going to be in the playoffs or they're going to be fighting for playoffs. So it's nice to, of course, play that spoiler role and maybe spoil a couple of teams' chances to get into the playoffs, and also depend on their seeding. Now, in terms of what I expect is going to happen in this match, is that I expect the Whitecaps is just going to sit back and they're going to let us have all the possession in the world. And, you know, this is a very kind of typical Whitecap setup. I think the Whitecaps are really one of the few teams you would definitely know that they would let you have all the possession and just try to see if you can break them down, because they are a very counter-attacking kind of style team. They're a very good transitional team. And for the Quakes, you know, it's good that we will definitely have all that possession, but the problem is, how are we gonna be using those possession, and how in the world we're gonna break down the Whitecaps? Because, you know, the Quakes have not done very well whenever they have all the possession and try to break teams down. I mean, in the last game against TFC, you saw how we had fair amount of possession, especially in the first half, and how difficult it was to break teams down, even with all that possession. And it's not just the last game against TFC, it's been sort of a problem for the Quakes this season and also in the last couple of seasons. So it will be very interesting to see how in the world will we break down the Whitecaps. And the most important thing in this game that we cannot afford to do is give the ball away, especially in the midfield, because if we give the ball away, it will automatically ignite a Whitecaps counterattack. And like I said before, their counterattacking and their transitional attack is very, very scary. Now, in terms of the players that we got to watch out from this game, well, there's a couple of players that we got to watch out for. I think in a set piece kind of manner, or whenever we had to like defend a corner, we got to watch out for Kendall Watson. He is considered one of the best guy in terms of the set piece and one of the most dangerous guy in the set piece, because he is so tall and he can basically just hit the ball away, and he always tends to time his jump very well when the ball comes into the box. And the other guy we got to watch out for is Kai Kamara, who of course is pretty much the goal scorer for this Whitecaps team. You know, if we give him any sort of space or even an inch of space, he can always put that ball into the back of the net. But obviously the most important guy that we got to watch out from this team is a guy that next season he's gonna be at Bayern Munich, and his name is Alphonso Davies. I mean, I've been saying it throughout my match preview and my review of how important Alphonso Davies is to the Whitecaps. Basically, if Davies has a good game, the Whitecaps is potentially gonna win, but if Davies has a bad game, then the Whitecaps are potentially gonna lose. So we got to make sure that we got to contain Alphonso Davies in this game. And yeah, that of course is the guy that we got to watch out for. And in terms for the starting 11 for this game, well, I'm going to probably stick with the similar kind of starting 11 from that last game, which of course in goal it's going to be Andrew Tarbell again, which to be fair, Tarbell has definitely looked much better in these last couple of games, and in some way I think he's kind of looked much better in these last couple of games, mainly because he hasn't really faced a lot of kind of shots, and that our defense have definitely looked much better in these last couple of games. But you know, talk about the defense, and in that left back position, I'm gonna say Quakes is gonna be playing in that left back again, because Salinas is gonna be suspended again in this game. Disco just announced a couple of days ago that Salinas is gonna get an extra game suspension because of that scuffle that he had with the Rapids and that he got sent off in that game. So unfortunately, Quakes has to be in there for that left back row. Now in terms for the center back row, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Kashia and also Youngworth that's gonna be there. And Youngworth, by the way, actually played as a center back in the last game. He didn't actually play in the central defense mid like I mentioned in my match vlog, and the reason why he didn't play in that central defensive mid position was because Cummins wasn't in the starting lineup or on the bench in that last game. And then of course on the right back it's going to be Nick Lima. In the midfield it's going to be Luis Felipe and also Anibal Godoy. In the left it's going to be Jamir Hika. On the right it's going to be Eriksson, and then up top it is going to be Husin with Vako playing in that number 10 position. And yeah, that of course is my starting 11 for this game. And in terms for the prediction for this game, like I said, I think that there is a good chance that we can finally end this miserable winless run at home, and that, you know, the Whitecaps is considered probably one of the easier team that we will face in the remaining schedule that we had at home. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna say we're gonna win this game, and I am going to say we're gonna win it by a final score of 2-1. And I'm hoping that for once the team can actually score more than 1 goals, because if you guys don't know, the Quakes in terms of goal scoring has been a huge issue lately. It feels like the goals are starting to run out and the goal drought is kind of started to come on. In fact, in the last game when Wando scored that goal, that was actually our first goal at home ever since when we score a goal against the Galaxy in that Cali Clasico. And if you want to count Avaya Stadium, you have to go all the way back to when we play against the New England Revolution back in June 23rd when we score a goal at home. So goal scoring has been just a bit of an issue for us, and I'm hoping that we can potentially fix that in this game, and hopefully Wando might get another goal in this one and potentially get even closer now to the all-time goal scoring record in MLS. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button, make sure you leave in the comments below what do you think the prediction is going to be and the starting 11 will be for this game. And yeah, I of course will see you guys next time, and I will see you guys on Saturday for that match vlog against the Vancouver Whitecaps.